Hi, having looked at the types of matrices, let us know some of the algebraic properties of matrices. Now let us start with equality. The two matrices are said to be equal if they have the same orders and their corresponding elements are equal. This is very logical. Let us try an example. Now, if I say these two matrices are equal and find the value of x, the obvious answer will be equating 2x with 4 and giving x as 2 as the answer. But we have to see all the other elements apart from these two elements are equal, which is true in this case. See, A21 is 2 in both the cases, A12 is 1 in both the cases, A22 is 3 in both the cases. So value of x is 2. Let us take another example. Now, equating these two matrices, finding the value of x. The obvious thing to do would be equating 2x with 4, giving x as 2, or x plus 1 as 3, again giving x as 2. But friends, in this case, this has no solution as one of the elements, which is A21, is not equal in both the cases. So while x is getting at 2, but there will be no value of x because these two matrices are not equal because one of the elements or corresponding elements is not same in both the cases. Now, let us look at addition of matrices. Again, two matrices can be added if and only if their orders are equal. That is, they have to have the same orders. Now, the addition of matrices can be done by adding the corresponding terms. Let us take an example. If we are to add these two matrices, first of all, we have to see whether they can be added. In this case, yes, because both the orders are same, that is 2 by 3. So the order of the final matrix will again be 2 by 3. That is, we'll have 2 rows and 3 columns. Now let us fill up the elements. The first element of the required matrix would be addition of the first elements of both the matrices. That is, we'll be adding A11 of both the matrices 1 and 2. The first element will be 1 plus 2. Similarly, we can fill up all the other elements in the same way. A12 will be 2 plus 4. A13 will be 3 plus 0 and so on. The final matrix will look like this. That is 3, 6, 3, 0, 2, 1. And it will have same order 2 by 3. So we can add two matrices only if the orders of the two matrices are same. The final matrix will have the same order. And if we represent the terms as Aij and Bij and the terms of final matrix as Cij, Cij will be Aij plus Bij. That is addition of the corresponding terms of the two matrices. Again, let us look at multiplication of a matrix by a constant. If we multiply K with a matrix, the matrix will look like this. That is, K will be multiplied with each and every element of the matrix. So when a matrix is multiplied by a constant K, each element of the matrix gets multiplied by K, that is same number. This is something which is different from determinants. Similarly, we can look at it backwards as well. We can take out K common from each element. For example, if 2 has to be multiplied with this matrix, that is 2, 4, 1, 2, 1, 0, the matrix will be 4, 8, 2, 4, 2, 0. That is, each term gets multiplied by 2. Now, the most important concept of the matrix, that is multiplication of two matrices. Now, this is very similar to multiplication of two determinants, which we have already done. Now, A into B is equal to C. First of all, we have to see when the product of the matrices can be done. So if the order of A is m by n, that is, it has m rows and n columns, the order of B will start with n. That is, the number of columns in A should be equal to the number of rows in B for the two matrices to have a product. So B's order will start with n. Let's say the order of B is n by p. Here, A is called the pre-multiplier, B is called the post-multiplier. Now, the order of the final matrix will be m by p, that is the leftovers. So this is the requisite condition for two matrices to have product. That is, the number of columns in A should be equal to the number of rows in B. Final matrix order will be M by P, that is number of rows in A and number of columns in B. So for multiplication of two matrices, the number of columns of first matrix should be equal to the number of rows of second matrix. This is the only condition which is required for two matrices to have a valid product. Again, let us look at it with the help of an example. If we are to multiply these two matrices, let us see first of all whether the product is valid or not. Now, the order of the first matrix is 3 by 3. It has 3 rows and 3 columns. And second matrix have the order 3 by 2. Again, 3 rows and 2 columns. We can see that the number of columns in first matrix, that is 3, is equal to number of rows in the second matrix. Again, 3. So the product is valid. Now, method to multiply the matrix is same as that we did in determinants. That is, we multiply the corresponding rows and columns. The product of two matrices will be a matrix of the order 3 by 2. That is, we'll have 3 rows and 2 columns. Now, the first element of the requisite matrix will be to correspondingly multiply the row and column. That is, A11 will multiply the elements of first row and first column and add them. So 1 into 1 plus 2 into 0 plus 3 into 0. Now this will be the first element, that is A11. For A12, we'll have first row and second column. It will have 1 into 2 plus 2 into 1 plus 3 into 2. Again, the element 2, 1 will multiply the second row with the first column, 4 into 1 plus 5 into 0 plus 6 into 0. And similarly, we can fill up all the elements. Similarly, the last element will be 0 into 2, 1 into 1 plus 0 into 2. That is multiplying the last row and the last column. The final result is 1, 10, 4, 25, 0, 1. This is the matrix of the order 3 by 2 as it was predicted.